the Australian-Asia Powerlink project, together with the projected wind and solar Asian renewable energy hub in the Pilbara, will transform Australia into a green energy exporting superpower. Hello, and welcome to Future Today. In this video we will talk about Australia's $30 billion Australia-Asia Powerlink project. Before we continue, consider subscribing and liking the video for more videos like this one. The project will be located 600 kilometers from Darwin, with the majority of the energy being exported through a 4,500 kilometer or 2,800 mile transmission line to Singapore and subsequently Indonesia. To levelize energy availability as sunshine fluctuates throughout the day, SunCable plans to build a 36 to 42 gigawatt-hours battery to store the power made from the farm. This battery will be the biggest battery in the world, storing 36 to 42 million kilowatt-hours. The project is expected to commence construction in mid-2023 and go into service in early 2026. The project is expected to be finished by late 2027. The project will boost the Northern Territory's economy by $8 billion and export power for $2 billion annually. The Australian business 5B's photovoltaic modules, which would be manufactured at a projected facility in Darwin, would be used in the solar plant, which will be located in the Northern Territory close to Elliott and Tennant Creek in the Barkly region, in an area with some of the best solar resources in the world. The solar panels will span 12,000 hectares or 30,000 acres. 6.4 will be transmitted by an 800 Kelvin or 500 miles overhead power line to Darwin, where it will be transferred to a 4,500 Kelvin or 2,800 miles 2.2 gigawatt submarine power line that will travel to Singapore. This underwater cable will be 5 times longer than the longest undersea power line currently in use, making it the longest underwater cable in the world. The load balancing for continuous daily dispatch will be provided by batteries at the solar arrays in Darwin and Singapore. Singapore used natural gas to generate 95% of its power in 2015, but it wants to lower its glasshouse gas emissions. With no carbon dioxide production, the Australia-Asia Powerlink could supply around 20% of Singapore's power, cutting its annual emissions by 6 million tons. It was revealed in September 2021 that the project's size would be increased from 10 gigawatt to 20 gigawatt capacity, and from 20 gigawatt hours to 36 to 42 gigawatt hours of battery storage, with an updated projected construction cost of $30 billion. The creation of up to a $2 billion in exports, 1,500 construction jobs, 350 operational positions, and 12,000 indirect employments in Australia, Singapore, and Indonesia. Due to the fact that the power line would first connect Australia and Singapore, the project was originally known as the Australia-Singapore Powerlink. Later, it was renamed Australia-ASEAN and then Australia-Asia, since it might potentially supply energy to Indonesia. By the end of 2023, SunCable hopes to have the necessary funds in place so that it may start building. It will cost an estimated $30 billion or $22.6 billion USD. Billionaires Mike Cannon-Brookes and Andrew Forrest made the initial funding for the project. The Northern Territory government granted the project major project status in July 2019, assuring local assistance in planning and construction. The Australian government granted the same classification in July 2020, which will speed up construction by easing coordination and permits. Singapore has not yet granted permission for the project. However, positives include long-term electricity price stability, the potential to become a hub for trading renewable electricity in the Southeast Asian power grid, and satisfying its Paris Agreement emission-cutting commitments. Guardian Geomatics will conduct underwater surveys in 2020. Northern Territory and SunCable inked a project development agreement in January 2021, establishing a business relationship. Sun Cable announced in March 2022 that it has obtained $210 million or £139 million in funding to support the project's further development. Billionaires Grok Ventures and Squadron Energy led the investments. It is expected to provide the first electrical supply to Darwin in 2026, Singapore in 2027, and full capacity by the end of 2028. Once the Australia-Asia link is complete and operational, billions of dollars in revenue are expected to flow into the Australian economy, and thousands of jobs will also be created. But could Australia power the entire world through a series of underwater cables? Have your say in the comments. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for videos like this one.